Welcome to St. James. I think a few more people are wandering in. I would just like to thank you for being here tonight. This is our fourth session of our Lenten journey with the homeless, and we've had esteemed guests, and tonight we have Chef Bruno Serato with us and Chef Patrick. I'm turning over the chair to Chef Patrick tonight. Just a quick introduction. I just wanted to give a little background as to how I got to know Chef Patrick, and then I'd like to introduce Chef Serato. So when we first got to the church, I had a commercial kitchen and no one using it. And so I thought, well, what a waste. Why don't we have a chef come in? And if the chef cooks for the congregation, the chef can use the kitchen. And there was a shortage of commercial kitchens in Orange County at the time, so it was a perfect marriage in my opinion. So I called the Laguna Beach Culinary Institute and said, do you have a chef that might want to trade services? And they sent Patrick over. And ever since he's been with us and he's outfitted our kitchen, he's brought so many ministries to St. James, mostly with homeless. And I think we've been a mutual blessing to each other. Patrick has also been a U.S. Marine. And he's also been a wealth management expert for many, many years, retired from that, and then went to culinary school and has been a blessing to us. Chef Serato is the acclaimed chef and the owner of the White House restaurant, as you just saw, and has been feeding the homeless for, many, many, many years, since 2005. Feeds 3,500 children a day. It's extraordinary. And through his nonprofit, Caterina, he works with the local Boys and Girls Club of Anaheim. So I'm going to let you turn it over to the two of you. And so the format is a town hall tonight. We're going to have an interview process here, and at the end we'll hand the microphone over to you. If you could stand up and use the microphone about this close to your mouth so we can hear you, it would be great. Take it away.
That's it. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Hear you.
Normally I'm never at a shortage for words, but I think I've actually met my match tonight with Bruno. Bruno is just an amazing gentleman. I'm going to let him speak a little bit about how he got started, but I just want to let you know how I got introduced to Chef Bruno through dear friends of mine, Jamie, Gwen, and Lana Sills, who were just in the third row back there. We were having a little birthday party, and Jamie was lucky enough to invite me to the party, and Bruno was there at the time, and that's how I originally met Bruno. As close-knit as this world is, the chef that trained me in 2008, Chef Laurent, now works for Bruno and works at Christ Church it's called?
Christ Cathedral.
Yeah, Christ Cathedral, and runs that catering operation down there. Just a small world, right? How this all comes around.
He told me you were very bad. Huh?
He's what?
He told me you were very bad.
That I was, yeah. He's not a big fan of mine. He's French, though. I mean, I got to expect that from him. Yeah. But let me ask you a few questions, really, and then we'll open it up to questions for everybody else. Your book, which, by the way, is an amazing book, The Power of Pasta. There's plenty of them here, signed and autographed by Bruno. Please get one before the proceeds go and to wonderful things at Caterina's Club and so forth. Your book talks about your upbringing. Would you give us just a brief background about yourself? Yeah.
Well, my mom and dad in 1945, left Italy, my country, to go to work in north of France. Italy was destroyed by the bomb between American and German. No job to be found. They went to north of Paris after Charles de Gaulle's airport, pick up potato and beets. And they lived there for 16 years. And 5 of my siblings were born, including me, in France. The first 2 were born in Italy. Till 1967, they come back. We were very poor. I mean, I grew up eating spaghetti every day for lunch, and milk, leftover bread at nighttime for dinner, and wearing clothes from people across the street, because mom and dad were so poor. We have 7 kids altogether. Of the 7, I was the cutest one. I just had to tell you. But that's why. But in 1967, they decided to come back to Italy. After 6 months we were there, somebody offered my mom and dad to get a small trattoria, bed and breakfast place. So, if you have a bed and breakfast place, you have 7 kids, you all can work together and get better for you guys. But mom and dad said, okay. They had no idea that my 3 older siblings will get married in 2 years' time. I ended up to be alone at 14 years old with 3 younger children, well, my mom, which I have a 3 younger brother, and mom, to run this whole place. I was still finished school. I was going to school from 8 a.m. till 1. Run to the restaurant to be a waiter, bartender, dishwasher, everything with her. Till 1980. Till 1976. 1976, I was called in Air Force, because it was mandatory to go Army or Air Force then in Italy. I did 1 year. I came back, but before I left to the Air Force, Mom would say, Bruno, you go to Air Force for 1 year. Do you want us to keep the small trattoria for you for when you come back? I say, Mom, no way. I never want to see a restaurant in my life again. Because think about it, from 14 to 20, all your friends go out, have party, fun. I was working 15 hours a day at that age. My day off was on Sunday between 3 and 5 when I was lucky. I mean, you do that for 6 years. Yeah, I didn't have any teenager life. That's what, I mean, you want to keep for you? No way. But when I finished the mandatory Air Force, I came back. My boss said, well, don't you want to work in the plumbing business? I said, sure, I want to do anything than a restaurant. I went to do plumbing for 24 hours. After 24 hours, I went back to the restaurant business. And here I am, till 80, because 1980 come, and that is where I was working, was doing bad. I was thinking to go work in a resort area, but you need to speak English. I was speaking French and Italian, but English was mandatory to try to make more money, obviously. If you speak to an English, you get paid more. I had a sister, then in 1970, got married with an American GI, my brother-in-law. He came to live in Orange County. I mean, I say, do I go to London to learn English, or do I go to California? Well, you know what I decide, right? I came over to stay for a couple months to learn English. It's over 4 years. I'm still here.
Wow.
I'm never back here.
I love it.
Yeah, that's why I am.
That's great, Bruno. Thank you. Your mother, Caterina, you have the nonprofit named after her, correct?
Yeah. That's
had a huge impact on you. And what do you think she'd say about all the work that you're doing now for the homeless community?
Well, the impact on Mom was amazing. First of all, my father was pain on the butt. He was very harsh, typical old-style Italian man. We call him Mussolini #2. Mom was the mom that you dream about it. 7 kids, love them all. And that was a real mom. I mean, what she done for her kids, she stayed with my father because of the kids. She wanted to beat him up too sometimes, but she never did. But I just said, like, she loved her kids so much, and she was working. The house was always clean. We were poor, but we always have spaghetti on a plate for lunch, or the leftover bread and milk at nighttime. I mean, her kindness, her love, her passion that she had for the love of family, she gave it to us. I mean, that's a huge, huge impact. And obviously, now that she knows what I'm doing, I'm sure she's above me. She said, first of all, say, Bruno, you are too much on TV. Why they talk so much about me? My brother and I, we always say that. If Mom knew how much they talk about her around the world, she would think we have a problem.
Really?
Yeah, because she's such a humble mom that she would not want that for her.
Right.
Me, I enjoy a little bit. Her, she would not want to. And she was like, no way. I mean, she's proud. In fact, you know, some people are scared to die. I keep saying, I'm not scared to die because the day I died, she'd be there, open the door for me.
I love it.
It'll be the happiest day of my life, and when I see her again.
That's great, Bruno.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what the turning point was. Like, how did you actually get started working with the motel kids? What were there a couple of things, or was it one specific
There was
situation?
one specific, like when I told you I came to America in 1980, after 2 weeks I was here, working for 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I mean, I love California sunshine, but I was really getting bored. I was listening to CD of Barbara Streisand, because her voice was so clear that to me was easy to learn. The English sing by her instead to just watch TV, they talking too fast. But Barbara, memory, things like that. I was doing that. But after 2 weeks, I tell to my sister, I say, is there anything? I can do anything around here? I say, because, I mean, you work 15 hours a day. For the age of 14, you get bored. She says, a restaurant called La Vie en Rose in Brea, just opened. We went there. I was a waiter in Italy when I came. But obviously, they speak English. The manager said, well, we have a position, dishwasher. My sister was embarrassed to tell me. I look at her, she said, what's wrong? I said, the only position they can give you is a dishwasher. I said, cool. She looked at me and said, is it okay for you? I said, yeah, this restaurant is beautiful. That's the first restaurant. I went from dishwasher, busboy, and a waiter in a year and a half time. Manager in 4 years' time. General manager in 7. Till when the White House was, by the way, at La Vie en Rose, when I work with a great friend of mine. So to be here, she's here tonight. Jane Pius, can you wave at my friends over there? We're still young after 35 years. We still work together so long ago. About the restaurant in 1980, the rest was for sale, the White House. A friend of mine was working there said, hey, Bruno, do you want to buy? I said, buy? So I came to this country with $200 in my pocket. I probably have $150 now. But I was so lucky enough to find 2 people, wife and husband. They were tired to own the restaurant because they were losing money. They're not restaurateurs, basically. They gave it to me to lease. 3 years leasing with option to buy. That's what turned out, and I got owner of the White House with 3 years to lease. Deal of a lifetime, and I could never forget that I owned those people so much.
Did you find yourself profitable from the beginning when you were leasing?
Almost, yeah. Because I was doing the banquet. I was in the kitchen to work on the food, but I was not the chef. I had to hire a chef. I was doing the front door. I was still waiting on table the first year I was working there. Right. But when Jane came, she gave me 50% of the job. I give it to her, and I make her work for me. But it was still difficult. I mean, with restaurant business, you don't make the millions. But those people, to give me a good price to lease in, I was able to get a loan, blah, 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 blah. That's what they start. And it got successful during the year. But the famous thing that I'm talking about the Caterina's Club, it happened April 18, 2005. Because since I owned the restaurant, I was doing better. Mom come every year, 2-3 months, winter time, stay with me and my sister. And with the weather in California, she didn't have any cold, no back problem, no shoulder problem. In Italy, always. But when she was here, she rejuvenated 10 years without facelift, just because of the sunshine and the weather.
I love it.
And Mom loved kids, like I mentioned. And April 18, which is going to be the week, 10 days from now, basically, it's going to be our 14 years anniversary. And afternoon, Mom say, after our espresso, say, Bruno, you want to do something this afternoon? I say, okay, what I'm going to do with Mom? She's not a shopping woman. She just has to be with me or my sister. I said, you know what, let's go to a boys-girls club, because she loves kids. Sure. And the Anaheim Boys-Girls Club was only like a quarter of a mile from the restaurant. We go there, it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. And there was a kid, 7 years old, kid eating potato chips. Normal things, right? But the director came to me and said, do you know, Bruno, that is his dinner tonight? And I said, what do you mean is his dinner? I said, well, that is a motel kid. I had no clue what he was trying to tell me. I said, what do you mean motel kid? I said, we have a lot of motels. I said, in 1955, when Disneyland opened, those motels were hotels for tourists, taking care very well and everything. Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott come. Those motels had to be residents for prostitution, drug addict, drug dealer, pedophile, sexual abuser, and low-income family. Then we said, that kid is a motel kid. So when he go back to the motel tonight, if his family is prostitution, drug addict, drug dealer, they won't give a damn to give him dinner. I mean, that is probably his only dinner tonight. I translate that to mom. And she looked at me, she said, well, Bruno, if that kid don't have any food, why don't you feed him a pasta? Mom, even when she was poor, friends of mine or my sister and brother come to the house, was always pasta. Cheap, economic, but you fill your belly. That means I say, you're right, Mom, let's feed him pasta. I go back to the restaurant, feed him pasta for 20 kids, because there were 20 kids that day. That was the first day.
You actually fed them that day.
That same day, April 14. Mom and I went back. I have a photo at the restaurant with me and my mom in the kitchen, 2005. That was the last trip because she was suffering Parkinson, and she could not travel after that. But we feed a kid the first time with 10, 15 other kids that day. I did that day, did the day after, the day after, the day after. And now we are 14 years that we've been doing this. We are at 5,000 children.
Seriously, 5,000 now.
Monday to Friday.
A day.
A day. We are in 29 cities in Orange County, which some are including Long Beach. It's not Orange County, but it's our neighbor city. We are 89 locations right here in our own backyard. Think about it. 89 locations, 29 cities in the richest country in America, which to me is still absurd to think that when I get interviewed around the world, they say, how can that happen? They don't ask me, but I know that that is what we have. But thank God to people like you, or like who I'm surrounded, that help me to do, because I am not rich. I have a beautiful restaurant, gorgeous tanning, I'm going to take 20 lifetime to pay for it, and I work to pay my mortgage, I'm a work person. But if I didn't have the help of the people to do what we do, I could not do that.
Okay.
Next week, April 11, which is Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we're celebrating, we bring 150, 200 kids to the restaurant. We go to celebrate the 3 million meals. So,
wow.
That's gonna be cool.
Fabulous. It's amazing. Bruno, when you feed these children, what have you like compared to when he had potato chips? Now, potato chips are pretty good, you got to say, right?
Well, the kid is still
but not
seeing.
every day, right? What do you find is the biggest change in the children when you feed them pasta and you feed them a great meal like that?
Number one thing is the smile. I mean, Mother Teresa says something. It takes zero money to be a decent human being. I do speech, I collect money, but it takes zero money to be a decent human being. A smile, and high five, and hug, a kiss and a hello. You change people's life. I mean, when you see a kid to smile at you, and the kid like is on CNN somewhere probably, he say, you have a 5-star restaurant. And I look at him, it's like, why you consider me a 5-star? I mean, he's a kid, right? He say, your pasta is so good. With the biggest smile, it's like, this is my best review I ever received, like, you know. But the smile of a kid, like, and also the hug. You know, when you see teenager boys, you don't hug them because they are macho too, right? I mean, I usually give them 5. You know, the kids one, the small one, they like to get hugged. But the teenagers, like 14, 13, 15, one day I see one of them, then I see often. I say, give me 5. I say, Sir Bruno, how about a hug today? I mean, that you can melt right there, right? And that is what the beauty of it.
I love it. Thank you. I have just a few more questions, and then we're going to open it up to the audience. But tell me, in the current situation in Orange County, is your mission of feeding and housing and helping with housing on the homeless sustainable in the current environment in Orange County with the numbers the way they are? And can you see yourself continuing to grow?
Well, I mean, the problem, I think, is getting bigger. I mean, we know that if you look at what's going on in our country economically, we should do very well, right? My restaurant was on fire February 4, 2017, which is 2 years. 2 years ago, I used to serve 2,000 kids a day. 2 years later, when the economy is booming in our country, I'm at 5,000 kids a day. Think about it. It's 25 million American people that are insecure to have hot meal at night. Of those 25 is a minimum of 5 million kids who are insecure to have hot meal at night. I mean, it's shocking to me because, I mean, we are not in Africa. We are not in certain area in South Africa or in South America. I respect every country. I love every country. But our county, I don't even say United States, I say Orange County, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, Anaheim. We are a rich city. And we have this problem getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, God live above us. You know, I hope He tells us what to do because I do what I can. Thanks, a lot of people do a lot of stuff in Orange County, try to help others. And I respect them all. But think about if we were not doing what we do. We would have kids dying on the street like we see during so many bad happening years, you know. Wow. And it's really a big problem.
Is most of the pasta that you're cooking out of the 5,000 meals, is it all done out of your restaurant? Or is it done out of the Christ Cathedral too, a little bit, or no
Christ
more?
Cathedral, as you saw the video, the day I lost everything, the Bishop Van, who adore my program, called me up, give me kitchen for free. The gift of that is walking to a facility that you don't own, like I did on the White House, but to feel like a home every single minute, every single day.
Was it a bigger kitchen than what you had at the restaurant?
5 times bigger. A huge kitchen.
So sort of like when I walked into St. James.
Probably.
I'm joking. No. Not really.
But the beauty of the Christ Cathedral is for free, but you feel like a home. And I say, thank God I had a kitchen. But I'm in the house of God. I think every church is a house of God. Doesn't matter what religion you are, every church is a house of God. Good. I mean, to go there with my crew and everything, feel like a home. I thank Bishop Van and God to have given me that one. I mean, that was for the year and a half I was closed. But when I reopened, I wait 30 days because when you reopen a restaurant, it's not that easy. I said, well, let's get in Christ Cathedral for 30 more days. After that, we go back like we used to do.
Right.
But I had a problem. When I closed, because of the fire 2 years ago, we were doing 2,000. Now I was on 4,000 when I reopened before it jumped to 5K. How am I going to cook for 4,000 kids and I have lunch open? I didn't do 1 + 1. I didn't count correctly. There was 2 things. Use the kitchen somewhere else or close for lunch. I close for lunch because I like to supervise when I'm there what we do for the pasta. Because we're cooking 350 pounds of pasta every day, 90 gallons of tomato sauce every day. And we cook over there. Certain facility of that 5,000 we have today, we give them tomato and pasta to the location because some have a kitchen. I mean, we have them that way. But we have this 89 location and we cook and everything.
So you made an economic decision that actually hurt you financially, but
well,
realized...
I have to be, and I'm honest, lunch was never really crazy busy like certain people. My lunch was, you can come one day, 70 people, come another day, 15 people.
Okay.
And I say, you know what, I mean, I really don't make that much of a money at lunchtime. I say, maybe God's telling me something, cook for the kids. Take care of the tomato sauce, because 90 gallons of tomato sauce, I have a full crew working there, start to cook at 7 o'clock in the morning, because we don't just do tomato sauce. We have to cook the bolognese sauce, the chicken, because we get healthy food for the kids. We have a carb, we have the fiber, because we have the veggie, and we have the protein. I mean, that is a full-time job to cook for 5,000 kids a day.
Absolutely.
I mean, they say, you what, forget the clients. I say, customer, my best clients are the kids. I mean, that's what we do. We close for lunch, and that's why we only open for dinner. But economic-wise, it was a good decision anyway. It turned out to be a good decision.
Well, you've had tons of challenges along the way. One of the biggest ones was when your restaurant caught fire and burned down. Tell us just a little bit, because this is something I don't even know all the answers to. Where did all the support come from? Because you weren't sure what you were going to do when that happened, right?
You talk about the children or talk about the restaurant?
Both.
Both. The kitchen for the children, that morning when I was on every TV channel in the country, around the world, which I was so shocked. People from Australia, Japan, France, Italy, Czech Republic called me. Is it true you're on fire? I said, how do you know? I said, you're on the news. That turned out to be international news, but not because of Bruno, because of what I was doing for the kids for the past 12, 13 years. Because here's a good guy feeding for children. Shouldn't happen bad things to him, but they happen. And that was the biggest news, I think, obviously because of the fire. But I guess some people start to call me, do you need the kitchen, you need the kitchen, you need the kitchen. Like, wow. First thing to taking care was the kid. The day after the fire, I was cooking pasta for the kid. And the kid did not lose one day. But people keep telling me, you do so much for the kid. I say, if you only knew what the kids give me the day after the fire is 10 times more than what I give it to them. Because, when you hear people taking drugs, drinking, do crazy things when something bad happens, I understand. My mind, for that first 10, 12 hours, 24 hours, I was confused. I mean, it's not an easy task. If you lose your home, you have a job, you have money coming every month. But if you lose your job, you have no more income, you find yourself, I say, where am I going to go to work? I'm going to apply as a waiter somewhere, as a manager somewhere, as a chef somewhere. It's very confusing. But the day after the fire, when I was cooking for the children, to be in the kitchen, cooking pasta, to have a bunch of kids around me, I completely forgot and I lost everything that I own. Those kids gave me 100 times more than what I never gave it to them. That is one thing that I will never, never forget about that. You see kids, hi, Sir Bruno, were you sad? Yeah. You try to, I cry for 30 days, 30 nights, obviously. Sir Bruno, are you going to reopen? Yeah, no clue. I say, yeah, can we come back to eat at your place? Those kids come to the restaurant 1-2 times a year when I do event, and I do big party for them. And they were so concerned because they want to come back to my restaurant. For them, it's highlight of their childhood. Right. I remember that little kid named Sean, right here, probably 10 years old. I was ready to cry because he was so sad to know that I was sad. I said, I'm going to reopen. You're going to be the first one to come. I make the promise without having no idea what's going on. The next problem I had was my crew. Chef, waiter, waitress, busboy, dishwasher. They lost what I lost. No more paycheck, their family, car payment. I had a priest, Father Michael, from St. Juliana Church. Came that morning because he saw the news. I said, Father, please, get all my crew together. Let's do a prayer because I'm without mind to do what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. We did a prayer right there. I look at them and say, you guys, don't worry. I'm going to find a job for all of you. Then my assistant manager, general manager, for 30 days and 30 nights making phone call. Because people also call me, Diesel and Marriott GM, restaurateur, competitor restaurateur call me, Bruno, is there anything we can do? Say, yes, please, can you hire this waitress? Please, can you ask her this way? Can you ask a busboy? Whatever. Iris, are you here? No, I have a waitress. She worked for Caterina now. She was my waitress then. You can come in for a second. Okay, Iris, at the exam, was working too at the restaurant. She found herself without job. She has a little girl, she was 12, 13 then, but Zov Bistro hired her. And Antonello hired her. We have a bunch of Pelican here hired people. A bunch of restaurateur hoteliers start to hire my crew. That was my second gift of God. Thank you, Iris.
But were they ready? Did they know that you wanted them back, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. They say, well, honestly, Dan, I have no idea if I could go back. Huh? And the third one was me. I was the last one on the roll. I said, I didn't care about anybody. I want to care about the children and the crew. After that, I said, what am I going to do? I remember at 5 o'clock in the morning when my nephew, which is my GM, and he's back. My first phone call was my sister. First phone call was my GM, which is my nephew. Second phone call was his mom, my sister. But when my nephew came at 5 o'clock in the morning, because I was the first one there, I look at his wife, which is my bookkeeper, say, do we have insurance? I say, yes. Did you pay? Yes. I say, no, I say, look at me in the eyes. Did you pay the insurance? Yes.
Oh, boy.
I say, now look at me in the eyes. Did you pay the insurance? I say, yes. You were 1 day late because January, when it's due, is very slow. We don't have enough money to pay insurance sometimes. We are a week, 2 weeks later, right? She said, no, I said, we make good money in December this year. I was able to pay the first week of January. Do you know how much insurance we have? She said, no. I mean, that has started to be the first 2-3 months of nightmare. How much insurance I have, how much will cost me, do I rebuild and everything. But my intention to rebuild was always there for 2 reasons. When I came in the morning and at 5 p.m., I see the fire chief, he looked at me, I look at him, it's like, is it bad? I said, very bad. After that, I said, anybody got hurt? Because it's like an explosion in the kitchen. He said, no, Bruno, nobody got hurt. At least as far as we know now, nobody, which was good. But at 4 o'clock afternoon, I said, okay, Bruno, now you can come in, because the first 8-9 hours, obviously, you can't. There was 3-4 firemen says, anything you look for it. So a picture of my mom was gone. That's the one was on the front desk. When you walk, you see her. She protects me 24 hours a day. Thank God I had another one, then I know I can put that back. But I saw the CNN hero, which was a big deal, very international. But the thing I wanted the most was a cross. It was given to me, it was sent to me by Pope Francis the year before. Because I sent him a letter. I said, Dear Holiness, I said, I need some help. If we take every religious leader of every religion around the table, eating pasta, and collect pasta and tomato sauce on every church around the world, we will not have hungry children in the world. Think about stupid little things, but I mean it. Every religious leader, they can say to their own church, when we have the service on Sunday or Monday, they should do, bring pasta, bring tomato sauce, and we give to the poor people. We will have no hungry people in the world. He wrote me back, he didn't text me back, he wrote me back, send me the cross, the rosary, I bless you, I bless all the people, then help you with the pasta, blah, 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 blah. And that was in the front desk frame. I mean, the fireman, I said to them, it's like, no way you will find it. Because you saw the video, like 1 million tons of debris. I said, no way you will find this cross. It's impossible. I said, please, guys, I'm going to call the Pope myself to get a new one. I said, I can leave it there. As soon as I said that, my niece was with me at the moment. She's like, oh my God, Uncle Bruno is there. And I usually wear it, but the chain broke, and I'm buying a new rosary tomorrow. And the little cross that's this big, the only things I find in 1 million tons of debris. I look at the cross, I put on my hand, I choke, I say like, wow, God, you suffer more than me for what the world does. I mean, this is nothing compared with what you did. But that gave me the first hope. The first thought that maybe I have to do. And the second things, which I mentioned in a different speech, for me, fire is hell. Fire destroys. Fire is evil. I say, I will not have evil win against love. Not only the love of the children, but you come to my restaurant for anniversary, birthday, day, night, you flirt, you love, you do everything, memory with mom. I said, so much love in that place. I will not let evil win. Love might prevail. That's what makes me going through. Went through insurance, general contractor, blah, 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 blah. $1 million over budget.
Over.
Over budget. I mean, a lot of money lost on me. You know, still difficult, but he's watching me going to help me out. I mean, that's one thing. A friend of mine did a GoFundMe page. I was able to make $230,000, which on a $5.5 million doesn't sound much. But then, it was $1 million to me. That was from over 1,200 people who donated online. And that was a big help because the first 2 months, you need to hire an architect, engineer, this, everything, and it's thousands of dollars. I did not have any more $1,000 in my bank account. But that helped me to move along. I mean, economic-wise, it was still extremely difficult because I find myself closed for a year and a half when they promised me in 6 months we can rebuild it. I mean, you all know, I mean, you know, if you don't have a job for a year and a half, no income for a year and a half, it's economic-wise.
But you didn't stop working because you were still feeding everybody.
That was the best thing. If I wasn't feeding the kids, I have no idea what would have happened to my brain. That's the best thing. I was doing more speech. We got to do speech around the world. I done speech at United Nations, São Paulo, Dubai, the Vatican. I do speech around the world, and that made me busy all the time. And but then, from the day of the fire to when we opened, we got almost 3,000 kids more. Wow. Yeah, that was a very, very busy time.
Fabulous. And now everything's in place.
I reopened May 4, 2018. Did extremely well till now, but this week, tax season, we all know what I mean. It looked pretty sad.
Yes.
But we had a big boost yesterday because I like restaurant critic, but you don't let the people use Yelp. And you have this percentage good on Yelp, but you have this percentage not good. But yesterday, I was one of the top 100 restaurants in the country.
Really? Wonderful.
I
Congratulations.
was like, well, let's hope that there's some customer call now,
Yes.
you know.
I love it. So one last little question, and then we're going to open it up if anybody has any questions. You've touched on this a little bit before, but faith obviously has played a huge role in your life. Could you sort of expand on that just a little bit and how it's affected you since you've started with Caterina's Club with the fire and your mom passing and everything else that's happened?
My family was never that big of a religious family. We live in north of France. We had one priest for maybe 50 cities. And we used to see one priest every 2-3 months. But I got the catechism, I got my first communion and everything else. But because I was in France, I really got devoted to the Virgin Mary of Lourdes, south of France, next to the Pyrenees. But that's my faith, Roman Catholic. I love every religion because I love to talk to anybody when they talk about their own religion. After I started Caterina's Club, I realized, more than realize, I keep saying, I guess this is the mission that God gave me. I feel like I'm here not to be a restaurateur or a chef. I'm just here to feed in the kids. I think that's what God put me here for it. I can feel it, you know. 4 or 5 months ago, I got invited to meet Pope Francis. I said, where is my rosary? I was just like, he gave me one, by the way. He gave me one. But just to meet him and to be able to talk to him for 3-4 minutes, it was a highlight of my life, obviously. And I said to him, the night you got elected Pope, you came out from the balcony here, because we were at the Vatican. You say one word, say one phrase, you say, do not forget the poor. I say, I follow what you say. I give a painting that's big of Mother Teresa of Calcutta holding a poor baby. I say, that is also my gift, because she also my idol. Obviously, we all know what Mother Teresa of Calcutta used to do. And I give my book, Power of Pasta. And I said, there's my book, it's my life story. I said, I'm a chef that feeds 5,000 kids a day. we give them home, and we give them job, because Caterina Club has 3 projects, which we can mention after this, finished one. I say, I hope, and you open the book, I mean, the book is pretty big, right? You open, first picture is his photo with the rosary that he sent me 2 years ago. I mean, you look at me like, do I know you? I say, well, you should, I'm on TV a lot, but he's more on TV than me. And the second picture you open is the photo of the restaurant, which looked beautiful before the fire. You're talking about cooking pasta for these poor kids. I say, very soon we celebrate 3 million kids. You're talking about the welcome-home family. Then we pay rent first, the last month rent to poor family and move them out. And he tapped 3 times my shoulder. I said, bravo, bravo, bravo. Keep doing what you do. I mean, if you want to touch my left shoulder, it's been blessing. But I charge $10 for the kids. I mean, that's I mean, it's all, I mean, the cross, the day of the fire, meeting the Pope, which, I mean, not too many people has the chance to speak 3-4 minutes with them direct. Christ Cathedral gave me kitchen for free. Bishop Van, I adore the man, and a lot of the people in the church level. I mean, it's a thing, my mission that God put me here for it, you know. I go to bed every night, I do my prayer every single night all my life, pray for people needed, people has gone, and thank God I believe in heaven. But people say, why you keep doing this? There's only one reason. I want to go to heaven, first class, one way, non-stop. That's it.
I love it. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you so much.
I'd like to, truly inspiring. Thank you so much. We have open time for questions if you'd like to ask any questions.
Before we do that, can I mention the Welcome Home program?
Oh, yes.
Because that is very important to
Yes.
the project of Caterina. The first few years, I was always very happy to feed those kids. But at 5 p.m., when you see those kids get in the bus, they go back to the motel area, you can see their face getting saddened. And one day at the Boys Girls Club, it was 8 years ago, I saw 2 kids, Carlos and Maria, brother and sister. They were always sad. I went to the director, I said, there's something wrong with those 2 kids. I said, because when they are between each other, they play their ground, blah, blah, blah. But those 2, they were always sad. I said, well, Bruno, they're probably sad because they live in a motel. I said, yeah, but they look more sad than normal average people. I said, you know how long they live in a motel room? Salon, 12 years. Think about 1 bedroom, 1 shower, 12 years. See, Maria says she does her homework sitting on the toilet. Only quiet place. So, wow, 12 years in the motel. Then I said, can we help? He said, well, you need to talk to the father. I said, Carlos, can I talk to your father? I want to help you to do something. The father refused to meet me for almost 3 months because he said, who's this guy? What does he want from me? He never have anybody who's sick and help. Carlos and Maria was getting like around 15 years old. I mean, they were kind of a little bit adult and they're teenagers. I said, Carlos, please, I need to talk to your dad and mom. Bring it to the restaurant. At least they know that I'm not anybody. They finally came after 2 months of begging them. And I said, why are you living for so long in the motel room? That's what Bruno said. We would love to move out. Because my last 2 kids were born in a motel room. They don't even know what that means to live in a regular home. I was like, wow. I said, what was the problem? I said, well, if you move out, I need to do deposit. Because motel room is not cheap, huh? Then it was maybe $40. Now they're probably $60. Times 3, $18,000 to $2,000 a month. I mean, it's not for free. I said, if you can spend $2,000 in a motel room, pay day by day, you can pay rent. Some place $18,000, $15,000, $18,000, $20,000, or $2,000 a month. But it's the deposit that then is missing. Then the first family, Carlos Maria's father and mom, I say, let me help you out. I'm going to pay the rent for 1 full year. Would you take my help? He said, what would you want? I want nothing. I said, you don't have to see me never again in your life. I'm going to pay 1 full year of your rent. I did. That was 8 years ago. They still live there. When I opened a restaurant 2 years ago, I called Carlos and say, you guys need to be my guest. Bring the whole family here. He said, well, Bruno, we can't afford it. I said, Carlos, I'm inviting you. But think about it. He said, Bruno, we can't afford it. I almost think like he came to the restaurant. I'm happy because I know what I did to this family 8 years ago. I said, this is the menu. He said, what do you want to eat? I tell the waiter, everything they want, blah, blah, blah. Come to the table, said, they only order, there were 6 of them, because 4 kids, mom and dad, 6 pasta. I go back to the table, say, why you only want pasta? So we love your pasta. I said, not tonight. Tonight is New York steak, filet mignon, sea bass, anything you want. I say, hey, don't worry, you don't pay, because the humility of the family, they want my help. They will come to my restaurant, they want to make sure that they can afford it. They won't order pasta only when they could have ordered filet mignon, like my friends. When I order them, they order the most expensive stuff on the menu. I mean, that was the first one. Just because I give them little help. Now, that one was a big help, it was 1 year. I investigated to the people. Most of them, I say, well, it's the deposit, first and last month. Why don't I pay the first and last month deposit to them? The people are qualified. To qualify, you need to do kids. I don't do to you because you're an adult. I do because of the kids. Because when you go to work 9 to 5, and your kids are in a parking lot, when you have a prostitution, pedophile, drug addict, drug dealer, something's going to happen. When I see them, it's my nieces and nephews, all of them. Let me pay first and last month. We do a life change. The first few families getting text, my kid was the worst at school. We moved 3 months ago, thanks to you. He came out with Student of the Month today. A woman texted me, she said, Sir Bruno, I never take for granted what you did for us. Lately, I'm fighting breast cancer. I'm going to chemotherapy, I don't know how many days a week, but I'm going to chemotherapy. After my chemotherapy, instead to go to a place called motel room, next to prostitution, drug addict, I'm going back to a bedroom in an apartment, and I feel much better. And that's a story after. In May, we're going to celebrate family number 200. Then we move out. I mean, if you go outside, you count the condo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're up to 200. We already moved 200 families from a motel room to an apartment. Life change 360 degrees. That's my second major project. And the last one, or the project, before I'll let you ask the question, is we give them food, we give them home. Those kids, when they get teenagers, they cannot go back to Boys Girls Club. They can stay in the parking lot, or they can stay out there, and you know what happened. I said, well, let me teach them Chef Bruno hospitality. We take them, we do 3 months of training, kitchen, busboy, waiter. After 3 months training with us, they feel more confident to go to apply for a job. As the last month, I started a project, second project of hospitality. I'm getting 8 children. They only can work 30 hours a month. I only keep them for 3 months. They have to learn, work under us, at the White House crew, for 3 months. But after 3 months, they have to leave, because I do that through Caterina scholarship. I want them to leave because I want to give opportunity to 8 more kids after 3 months. You should see some of those kids. They are better than my busboy and waiter already. It's unreal. This is the 3 project of Caterina. Question? Thank you.
Well, Chef Bruno, you told me in the kitchen that you have a 100% success rate with the Welcome Home.
Welcome home, nobody move out.
That
we stay
housing
behind
is
there
the
for
issue.
1 year. Because if you're behind rent 1 month, the last thing we want is you to go back to a motel room. If you have a medical emergency, last thing I want is to you go back to a motel room. If for 12 months, you have a phone number, you need some help, you can call us. When you made for 12 months, you made it. And it's been 100% successful. Just to pay first and last month. It's a lot of money. Sometimes I find $2,000 a month, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. But the life change that we do to those kids, it's amazing. and we give dignity back to their parents, because the parents take advantage because they're helping the kids. But think mom and dad that live in a motel room, they cannot be happy to have their children live in that area. I mean, we do pasta-thon with K5 every year. I moved a woman 5-6 years ago with 9 children. I should say I moved a grandmother because the daughter was sleeping around and she has 9 children. The grandmother was working. She came to Sir Bruno and said, I work for a lawyer. I make money to survive with my kids. There's 9 of my grandchildren and my daughter. I said, but I cannot save enough for first and last month. I said, could you help? I did help her. In December, I did a pasta-thon at the Christ Cathedral with K5 when I collect money in pasta. She came with 4 of her grandchildren. She gave me a hug and a kiss. She said, we came to volunteer to help you. We talk and think of you all the time. So we are in our prayer, in our soul, 24 hours. There's nothing better than that. I mean, to hear that people as a life change for the 4,000. I don't come up with my own packet for 4,000. I'm not rich like I mentioned. That's why I do speech. I do everything in collecting money to do that. And when you move a family, it's thanks to all the people who has helped me to do that. And that is a big life changer. That is really a major mission to give a home. Because when we go home tonight, it's our own home. Imagine go to a bedroom next to yell and scream. I was with ABC, NBC one time. They didn't want to go to the parking lot because they saw their face around there. I have a watch, beautiful, brightly with diamond. It's on my safe for that 10 years because I don't want to watch when I go to those places because it's scary, freaking scary. Yeah.
Any questions? It's a shy group.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
But you know what I find the most interesting, and a lot of people get on me, especially people that really know me, that I ask too many questions. But think about if Bruno didn't ask Carlos and stayed on him for 2 or 3 months and kept saying, I want to talk to your parents. Please let me talk to them. And he finally got the information you needed.
It was tough.
And that was the beginning of it. Yeah.
It was the beginning of it. It was so difficult because when nobody helping you, if somebody says, I want to help you, what does he want?
Yeah.
And that is the first thing he told me. And when he came for dinner, like last year when I had the opening weekend, and it was all the family, mom, dad. I said, how you doing? Good. I said, you happy? But I don't even have to ask that question because the smile on their face, the difference from 7 years to today is life-changing, life-changing. And Billy, the 7-year-old potato chip boys, on the 1 million meal celebration, I called him out. He came to Caterina, and now he's working for Parker, state of California.
I love it.
He worked for, well, I think he's 22 now, maybe, or 23. He was working for the Boys Girls Club. And I meet sometimes kids who are growing up, 15, 18, 20, 25, and they come and say, oh my God, Sir Bruno, oh, I'm so happy what you did. I love your pasta. But you can tell them their happiness to see me as I'm Uncle Bruno, to them, which is amazing.
Well, I want you to know that if there's anything we can do here at St. James, we have a commercial kitchen here. As you know, you saw it. It's not as big as maybe the one that you have at your restaurant. But we would love to be able to assist every single person in this audience that's part of this parish.
In fact, I was just talking early with Tyrus.
We'd love to help. We'd love to help. It's a great group of people here. And
I can see and thank you, all of you, but I say the same thing with us, with you, because just somebody should give us like pallets of popcorn. And we always look for people they can use it, because with our kids, we do once in a while dessert, once in a while something, but I'm very straightforward. I wanted them to get pasta, chicken, and fiber. I don't want the sweet to be an extra item. But because you have those 200 homeless, we're going to give the popcorn for the homeless to give it to them because I'm sure they're going to love it.
I told them we would take it.
I love it. I love it. That's great.
We talked about collaboration and talked to Iris about some of the ways that through the OC mission and Second Harvest, that we collaborate together, and there needs to be more collaboration.
We work with a lot of people. The Illumination Foundation is a big one. They help me to find people, and they usually qualify them for us because they are more prepared than me. And they say we have 4 families to move, and because they don't have the program to pay for the last month.
And Mercy
like I
House.
do. Mercy House, we work them. Well, we work with a lot of people. And that's the best way because sometimes I think that I can't use it, then I can give it to someone. The same thing, they give it to me. Sometimes people say, hey, I have extra vegetable. So bring them over and we put them on a tomato sauce. I have cookie. Okay, one time every 3 months, yeah, but not every day, you know, things like that. But we collaborate with a lot of people. And like I mentioned earlier, thank God for all those people. And we collaborate together, we do what we do. Because it would be a disaster in our country to see all these people starving without home and everything else. I mean, it takes so small gesture to change life to someone, you know. And that is, that's really my speech that I done around the world is to have people to follow our step. And we did. We have a sister project that follow us in Texas, Chicago, Mexico, Italy, Haiti, Ethiopia, New York, and something else, France. I mean, the people see me on TV, hear my speech, read my book. I say, it's easy. Don't start 5,000 passes a day. Start with 1, like I did. Start with 1 passes a day. Tomorrow you may say, oh gosh, I already served 100. I'm up to 1,000. Hey, next week I'm going to say, wow, I'm up to 3 million. And that is what I tell people. Start with 1 pass. I do a lot of speech at school. I did a 30-city speech, 30-city school, 30 school. And I told a young crowd, you guys don't have any money because you're all students and everything. But a plate of spaghetti, it can be less than 25 cents. You spend more on your phone or when you take out your little girlfriend or boyfriend, you know. It's like, think about it, doesn't cost much. 25 cents, you can do much. A little boy came out and said, my mom gave a plate of food every night to another little person, a lady, an old lady. So tonight you go home, give a hug to your mom on behalf of Sir Bruno. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Think about what he just said, 25 cents, right? And that's probably what we, ex the meatballs, of course, tonight. They cost a little bit more, but the pasta itself probably ran us about, and at the portion size you took, probably less than that.
Because a box is $1.50.
I can buy it for $1 a pound.
Yeah, I mean, you cook for 6-7 kids. Kids doesn't eat like you and me. They eat a little less. I mean, it's cheap. It doesn't cost much to feed 1 person. If I don't eat tonight, if we don't, if we have to work or study tomorrow, we can't function. Imagine a kid. If he doesn't have food tonight, he go to bed hungry. Tomorrow he go to school, wait for the lunch at school. Like January 1st this year, we pick an extra 1,000 kids. And you know why? Long Beach call us, beg us. Boys Girls Club, 7 locations. We need some help. So sure, we're here, what can we do? Our kids are starving. I said, why? Do you remember when there was the government shutdown? Cut. No food. For 7 Boys Girls Club was 800 to 1,000 kids a day. We give them to them immediately. Iris, the girl introduced early, went. She said they were crying. A thankness of pasta. I mean, that was not a long time ago. It was January, exactly. 3 months ago. They didn't have any food to eat because the government shut down.
Amazing.
It's shocking to me that we have that in our backyard. You know, when I did on CNN, I did a speech at world level. I said, we should not have hungry children in our own backyard. There was 5,000 people audience plus media TV. It was standing ovation, but I mean it. I mean it.
Well, you don't lack any enthusiasm, Bruno, that's for sure. It's been such a pleasure to have you here and a real honor for our church to have you here. Thank you. And we have a tradition here at St. James.
I'm assuming there were no questions because you're just going to race to the back of the church and buy Chef Bruno's book.
But
And
we
he
have a
has plenty
tradition
of
here,
copies
Reverend
in the
Cindy's
back.
going to
And we have
mug
a
and kiss
tradition
you.
here that we mug and kiss any visitor. So you're being mugged tonight.
And kisses inside. There's kisses inside.
And
I
you
love
get
it.
kissed. And this is a icon of St. James,
Thank you.
our patron saint.
Beautiful.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for being with us tonight. And
Thank
you'll be
you.
around to answer a few questions afterwards, too.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean,
Okay.
I'm free tonight. I just liberate myself to be with you and feel free. I'm not shy. Any question you like.